So today we're going to cover a lot more about creating motivation. How do we motivate our kids? So for kids, what makes them tick is fun. We always talk about we need to make it fun for kids, but how? So one of the foundation we need to start with is these 4 chemicals that's in our brain. Okay? These 4 chemicals, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphin. These 4 chemicals is a happy chemical that makes us happy. We want to explore a little bit about each and every one of these chemicals. And as you know the functions of this chemical, you start to realize you can actually replicate it. You can actually create it. So first, let's talk about dopamine. So what's dopamine? It's something that helps you chase a reward. Let's say for a monkey, when a monkey sees a mango, dopamine will start to fire up. Ooh, mango. Then as it climbs closer to the mango, more dopamines get firing. So then it gets happy, it gets excited to chase that mango. But once it gets that mango already, then no more dopamine anymore. The dopamine will stop. So this is a very important chemical. 1, it keeps us happy, chasing a reward. 2, it's also for our survival. Because if we don't see something and get excited about it, we may not find the food, we may not find shelter. So we are designed to keep looking for goals and chasing it. And once dopamine fires up, what will happen is people become more focused, more alert at that time, and they can concentrate a lot better. Second is oxytocin. So oxytocin is also a happy chemical, but when does this fire up? This is when there's trust or there's touch. Yeah? So when there's touch, there is oxytocin fire up that makes you happy. That's why it's very important to hug your child. Not just your child, your husband, your wife, same thing as well. This is free happiness. That's why some of us, we crave for the hug, or sometimes when we hug, we feel really good. Why? Because once we hug somebody, oxytocin fires up. That creates the happy hormones. Then serotonin. Serotonin is social importance. The feeling of being number 1, the feeling of being top in the group, king of the world, being important, being recognized. Yeah, social importance. And this you can see very easily why people are very addicted to social media, because sometimes when you get more likes, you oh, I'm important, oh, people are recognizing me, and that's where serotonin fires up. That's why social media is leveraging on all these chemicals as well. Yeah. The 4th one is endorphin. So what does endorphin do? Endorphin is to mask pain, stop you from feeling pain, or when you feel pain, it reduces the impact, minimize the sensitivity to the pain. Endorphin. This is actually come from 2 different words. One is self-creating, one is morphine. Yeah, morphine, you see in hospitals, they use it to help you when you are in very big pain, when you're shocked, they give you morphine, right? So our body is capable of creating your own morphine. Right? It's not very long, it's probably 20 minutes. And this is something that you can see in people who exercise a lot. Have you heard of runner's high? People who run, then they feel quite high running. They keep running more and more. So they start to participate in marathons, then Ironman. They push themselves until knee also start to break down sometimes. Why their knee start to break down? Knee very pain, maybe they're still running. Because the endorphin keeps shooting and they feel high. They feel like, oh, don't care about the pain. I'm very happy. I'm very happy that I'm doing this. I'm very happy that I'm achieving something. Okay, let's go into the details again. Yes, just now we talked about the neurology. We talked about these are the 4 chemicals and what do they do. But what else creates fun? Psychologically, in order to create fun, we can create activities that generates these chemicals. So we can create checkpoints. So let's say, for example, when we're teaching swimming, we cannot just expect the students to swim 50 meters, that's the goal, right? So in fact, to swim 50 meters, there's like hundreds of checkpoints. It's something as small, it's not even small as like putting the face in the water. Putting face in the water is quite generic already. If you meet someone who's a lot more fearful, right? A checkpoint can be putting the mouth in the water, putting the ears in the water, putting the eyes in the water, then only the nose, then only the whole face. It can be as small checkpoints as this. So when you create these checkpoints, they have something to look forward to. Dopamine keeps firing. Because once you keep giving checkpoints, they are chasing. As long as they keep feeling on the way, dopamine keeps firing up. When they get what they want already, right? When they achieve that goal already, dopamine no longer creates it. Stop already, that happy feeling, that feel-good feeling. Then oxytocin, what can we do? Is we can build trust with the students, your kids. As we build more trust, as we hug them more, as we congratulate them with a handshake, as we recognize we can relate to them better, that's where oxytocin can fire up. And serotonin, remember social importance. How do we get serotonin to fire up? Is winning, getting them to win. So we give them a challenge and they win it. Most important part is to celebrate it, to make them feel significant. I give you a very common mistake that coaches can make. So they teach student number 1. Okay, student number 1, you are learning how to come up for air. You can do it once. So I'll give you a goal. I want you to practice until you can do it 3 times. Then you have met your goal. That's your first checkpoint. Come up at least 3 times. So okay, now you practice. Then the coach goes to student number 2, start teaching something else, give another goal. And when they're teaching number 3 already, what happens is student number 1 gets able to come out for air already. Then the student say, hey teacher, I got it already. Common mistake of the coaches is, okay, keep practicing more. Then go back to the student number 3 because interrupted his student number 3. What happened there is you instantly miss serotonin. You didn't get serotonin to fire up because they were just chasing. So when they achieve it already, suddenly there's no recognition. Oh, that's all. Or chasing actually not really exciting. I get nothing out of it. But all these things is not said out. It's just subconsciously they just feel, there's 3 times reading. Okay, lor. Then that's where students start to lose concentration and they start doing something else that creates more fun. Disturbing their friends, they start doing other things that they are not supposed to do. Then teacher will say, hey, why so naughty? Then the teacher didn't realize actually the teacher, just by not recognizing, missed out a very important step. When you meet their goal, remember to recognize as well. Then endorphin. What kind of pain they need to mask? Because normally you don't put kids into pain, right? How do we do it is to push their limit. Things that they say, oh, I cannot do. We push them, we make sure that the things that is within their reach and keep pushing them until they reach it. As they are pushing, they feel the fatigue, they feel like lack of stamina, they feel strength going down, very tired, very difficult. Then they get it. During that process, there's also a good feeling being fired up. They don't know because you feel that they are complaining. The one so difficult, you're so tired. But actually when you push them, there's also happy, feel good feeling. And once they achieve it, you recognize again, then from endorphin becomes serotonin. Then you create that same process again and again. Set goals, recognize, push their limit. Then how do you end it? End it with oxytocin. Touch. Hey, great job. So then just great job. If you can, pat them on the back. We need to see that what are we doing in our daily activities that we can create these chemicals again. Your students or your kids can be happy. This thing is, I find it by accident. One of the reasons is I love playing games a lot. So then you look into their formula, it's actually a similar chemical that we are exploring. They keep creating a lot of levels. And not just giving them levels, there are sometimes they give them a certain bar that shows them they're almost there. They're reminded that they're chasing something again and again. Other than neurology, this is the brain, this is something that we cannot control. Psychology is the activities, this is something that we can actually create those neurological chemicals. Then third is philosophical. So what else can make us happy? Sometimes it's just transporting us out of ourselves. We have a certain personality, we have a certain character. But sometimes why people play game? Because they suddenly become another character. So when they can become someone else, they feel happy. Free from constants of our mind. The daily things that we are worrying about. Daily things that's going on in our mind. So we're holding all these things. And whatever they can free ourselves from not thinking about this, we feel happy. What other elements that are doing all this? Drugs. See, if you explore drugs, let's say weed, LSD, they take your mind into a whole different way. They make you hallucinate, let you see yourself from a third party kind of feeling. So when you go into drugs, that's why it gets addictive because all these chemicals keep firing up. But drugs is one way to create these chemicals, and what is equally powerful that can also create these chemicals is our words. Our words itself is powerful enough to create this same happiness without drugs. I'll give you an example. In terms of philosophy, let's say what transports us out of ourselves, right? So when it comes to kids, I love to go into, okay, now you're a pirate. So now you're a pirate, I want you to count the balls like counting your treasure. Don't miss any one of it. If not, another pirate will take away your treasure. So then they keep counting. So simple, 4 years old, they keep counting the balls, they're really happy. But what I'm actually teaching them through that game is I'm getting them to balance. Because when they hold on to the ball, it's very wiggly. So I only hold on to their legs so they learn how to balance while able to play. So when we play, we can think about how do we make them out of their character. Now you're an astronaut. Now you're a pilot. Now you're a spy. So we can get them to imagine, transport them out of themselves. That will create a lot of fun and happiness. So I hope these are a few tips that can help you to keep thinking about how to create more fun for your kids.